Hello and welcome to Tar Heel Teachers on the Road. I'm Marlow Artis and I am in Martin County for a special visit with Dr. Michelle White, Superintendent of Martin County Schools. Dr. White, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. We're honored to have you in Martin County.
I'm so happy to be here in Martin County, and we're actually at the Innovation Campus. So Dr. White, tell us about the significance of the Innovation Campus for Martin County Schools.
The Innovation Campus is something that we are so proud of in Martin County. It took several years of a lot of hard work on behalf of a lot of individuals to get this off and running, but it is spectacular. It's a state-of-the-art facility. It's where we house all of our career and technical education classes for the district. We've also added an early college this year, and that's housed here as well. We also have added some new programs this year with Odyssey of the Mind and several other STEM-focused initiatives that are housed out of this facility as well. So it's become this all-encompassing building that ties our entire school system together. And it is just wonderful. We have teachers here today working on pacing guides and planning for next year. So it's become the hub of our school system.
Fantastic. And when you have a space that's focused on innovation, you really can be intentional about that. And we're going to really unpack some of those intentional things that you all are doing here in Martin County. So last month you celebrated your 1-year anniversary with the school system.
Yes.
1 year as superintendent. How is it going, Dr. White, in the superintendent seat?
It is amazing. I feel so blessed and so thankful to be able to do this work every day. It's something that I have looked forward to and aspired to, and that so many people across my life and career have just supported me and helped me get here today so that I can support and pour into other people. And it is a true blessing, a true dream. And I absolutely love the work that I get to do every single day, working with teachers, working with children, and just working with the entire community to make Martin County Schools the best it can be, to pour into the lives of our children and our community, and just support this public school system as we strive to help our community at large be a great place.
Absolutely, and this community is very supportive of education. We want to talk about some of those things, including Better Today, Better Together, Martin County Schools. We'll talk about that. But before we kind of dig deep into some of the stuff connected to Martin County Schools, I do want to kind of unpack your pathway to get into the superintendency. So before you arrived here in Martin County, you were an award-winning teacher and principal, recognized here in the Northeast. So talk about, and you also earned your music education degree. So talk about your path to becoming superintendent, because it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long process. I think sometimes people don't understand the steps that we take to end up eventually where we are.
Yes, and so I always say education is a calling. It's not a job. It's something you are called to do, and I definitely have felt that calling all my life since I was a young child. I was very blessed to have one of those powerhouse teachers. Her name was Marcia Smithwick, and she was my band director.
Wow.
And I graduated from Bertie County School, so I'm a product of Northeastern North Carolina, and what a blessing it is to now serve the region that once served me. Ms. Smithwick was my band director from 5th grade all the way through 12th grade.
Wow.
So she is a testament to that powerhouse teacher, that teacher that just really shaped me and supported me and helped me discover my musical talents and abilities, but also leadership ability. She is just an excellent teacher and really groomed leadership in her students, and many of her students are now superintendents, assistant superintendents, teacher leaders across the state. So that could be a future interview for you, because she was spectacular. So I actually went to East Carolina on a full tuition and fees music scholarship and had a wonderful experience there. ECU is such a powerhouse of teacher preparation. I just feel that they have such an amazing program, and I felt very equipped and empowered through that program. Graduated from ECU with a Bachelor of Music Education. At that time, you had to choose a pathway, so band, choral music, general music. But I didn't want to choose a pathway. If I was going to be licensed in all of that, I wanted experience in all of that. So I actually petitioned the school and asked could I do multiple internships. And so they allowed me to do that, and now I think that has become a common practice there. So I got to see different elements of the job itself, and decided that I wanted to try general music first. So started my career after graduating from ECU with a Bachelor in Music Education in Perquimans County. And wow, what a tremendous blessing that was. Perquimans County is just this this true gem. I was blessed with wonderful mentors. Taught general music there at a pre-K through second grade school. Actually became certified in art as well because the school could not afford both a music and an art teacher, and so I was able to teach both those curriculums. And it's there that I realized my passion for regular education. I didn't just teach music, I used music as an avenue to teach the regular curriculum. So we wrote musicals that set the regular curriculum to rhyme and script, and we choreographed those, and so they became these major productions that also taught children the regular ed curriculum. So just a wonderful experience.
We should have the integration.
We should have the integration, and I realized that children can learn anything through music, and so that's when I kind of discovered my passion for regular education, and added that license as well in K-6 elementary. Also added my first master's degree in instructional technology, and became the school's technology facilitator. So in that role, I had the opportunity to actually coach teachers and work with teachers on integrating technology into the classroom. We know sometimes we get so focused on the latest gadgets, but that's not the point. The point is to increase student success through technology. We use it when it betters our best, and so I had the opportunity to do that. Was a part of the original Impact Model Grant at that time when we were awarded over $1 million for technology at the school level, and we were able to get smart boards and document cameras. I'm telling my age because many of that is now antiquated, but it was a wonderful experience to be able to coach teachers and work with children on integrating that technology to maximize student success. From there, each district was able to select one person to complete a school leadership master's degree. So I was very blessed to be selected by Perquimans County. I went to Elizabeth City State and got a second master's degree in school leadership. Then went into a 3-in-1 role of technology facilitator, assistant principal, and instructional coach. Loved that role, very diverse, got a lot of wonderful experience and really learning how to use data to drive instruction, not as a buzzword, but as in the trenches work, because data are not numbers, they represent children.
That's right.
And so what are we doing with that data to truly transform instruction and change how we're presenting information in order to help children grow? And that was a wonderful experience. From there, I became principal of White Oak Elementary in Chowan County. So transition districts, I was in Perquimans for about 10 years, and then transferred over to Chowan County. Again, such a wonderful experience. So many people in that district that just poured into me and grew me and gave me the opportunity to pour into others, and from our family to our teachers and our community. White Oak's slogan became the happiest place in Chowan County, and I always say you can feel a school when you walk in the door, and it was such a beautiful, beautiful feeling at White Oak. We, of course, focused on literacy, really ensuring that every individual child got what they needed in order to be a reader, to learn to read, and to grow. Did a lot of things throughout that school in the areas of literacy, really increased our reading performance, worked with teachers on getting those skills necessary to be great reading teachers, went through some of the reading recovery training, and just really invested as we transitioned to the M class and all of those things that we're currently using. From there, my superintendent asked me to go to a low-performing school, and I was like, absolutely, I love school transformation. I'm willing to go, when I'm called. So from there, I went to D.F. Walker Elementary, also in Chowan County, and at that time, the school was a D low-performing school, but within 2 years, we became a B high-growth school, and within 4 years, we were North Carolina's National Title I Distinguished School. So just, again, a team of people came together, and in education, it's about belief. And when you believe you can, you will. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so just creating that vision with my team in that school of we can, our kids can, and we will. And just not accepting anything less than success. So wonderful, wonderful opportunity there, and just felt so blessed to be able to serve the children and the community. From there, my superintendent asked me to move again to a middle school that was also in a turnaround situation? I said, absolutely. I go where I'm called. Love the middle school level. Realize that those children are really not that different than elementary children. So it was a blessing again to serve there. Again, we had some things to overcome. We worked hard. We decreased discipline at the school by about 80% within 2 months. We became a national middle school to watch within 1 year. Just made some tremendous strides in social emotional learning, student achievement, and just whole school culture. After that, I moved to the district office. Had a tremendous opportunity to serve as assistant superintendent of curriculum instruction in Hertford County. What a blessing that was. Some amazing people in Hertford County.
Absolutely.
We were able to implement new curriculums, systemic data systems, a lot of teacher coaching and support, and just people that were hungry to truly do what was right for children, and that was a wonderful experience. And then from there, that brought me here to Martin County, where I am currently, just living my best life, living my dream. I absolutely love it here. Have had a tremendous first year. It has been 24 hours a day of work, but when you love it, it's a choice. It's not a job. I wake up every day excited to come in, and we've done some amazing things that I know we're going to talk about today that I'm very excited about.
So much great work. Recognized as Regional Principal of the Year twice in the Northeast because of your work. Dr. White, talk about really your approach to turnaround work, because Martin County Schools is a low-performing school system, and I know that you believe that you all can do great things, and you all have done tremendous things just in this first year. But talk about just the approach that is necessary when you're moving an underperforming school or district forward.
You know, when I was placed in my first turnaround school, I immediately began to think about the culture. If you want to change a school, you have to change the culture. Sometimes we make that mistake of jumping straight to the instruction or straight to the data. If you want to truly transform a school system, an organization, it's all about the culture.
That's right.
And so really listening to our people. You know, great schools are made because of great people. And so my approach is always meeting with my people, listening to my people, not just hearing them, but truly listening to them, hearing what they're giving back to me, and then hearing what we're doing well to ensure that we continue doing those things, hearing what's not going well, what support do you need, what is it that we need to do better with, and then giving them the opportunity to share, just kind of open mic, what else is it that we need in this school or in this school system, and then doing something about it. You know, as school leaders, it's important to listen to our people and to hear them, but then to do something about it. So for example, when I came to Martin County Schools, I had insight for Dr. White meetings with community stakeholders, parents, teachers, administrators, and I just took meticulous notes. And then I spent weeks combing over those and creating that to-do list of this is what everybody said and this is what we need to do. So transforming that culture, when people feel heard, then they're ready to buy in.
That's right.
Because you took what they said, their voice mattered, and you did something with it. So I definitely feel that first and foremost, you got to change the culture. When I was at my first turnaround school, people often came back and they said, you know, after we had transformed and we had moved from that D to the B, what did you do? Please tell us what you did. I'm like, you know, what did we do? Let me reflect on that. And I realized that everything we did could be divided into culture, data, and instruction. No matter what it was that we changed within our organizational framework, within how we did business, it could all be placed into categories of culture, data, and instruction. So that's my approach now. I always think of the work in those three realms, culture, data, and instruction. Start with the culture. If you don't have data to drive what you're doing, you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. And so then making sure we have that systemic process and an infrastructure for creating data that is accurate, that people understand, that they know how to use, and then using that to change the instruction, to better our best, to really support teachers in knowing what to do with that data. Because again, data aren't numbers, they represent children. These are our children. So what gaps do our children have? What successes do they have, and how can we capitalize on that with instruction? So my approach is transforming the culture to create a systemic data system to then change the instruction.
And we do know what to do, but some people don't execute.
Exactly.
And that's what you've been doing, you've been executing. When we return, we're going to talk about the great work that Dr. White and her team, what they're doing here in Martin County Schools. We'll be right back.
Martin offers more isn't just something we say, it's something Martin County Schools does every single day. More face-to-face instruction by more certified teachers, more hands-on learning for every student, an innovative early college offering the associate's degree or certificate of your choice, a STEAM innovative middle school that offers a collaborative whole child experience, more career and technical education opportunities creating workforce-ready citizens, stellar arts and athletic programs that focus on the whole student. We offer an unmatched educational experience.
Martin offers more!
Back on Tar Heel Teachers on the Road, and we are continuing our conversation with Dr. Michelle White, Superintendent of Martin County Schools. Dr. White, what has surprised you most about the superintendency? Has it been anything like, I don't know, I wasn't expecting to be just like this? Has any of that come up?
You know, I would say it really hasn't been anything that surprised me, other than the fact that it hasn't surprised me. What do I mean by that? So I think the superintendency is what I expected. You know, I was blessed in my career with so many wonderful people that invested in me. And those people, I'm not going to start naming names because I don't want to leave anybody out, but those people I feel like really invested in me and prepared me for this point. And again, greater is He who is in me. But no, I have felt very prepared for this, very blessed to be able to do this work every day. Very thankful to be able to support the children, to support the teachers, to support the entire community. I think I've been surprised that I do feel very prepared and just very thankful to be able to do the work every day.
Well, you've had a lot of different experiences too. That
Yes.
makes a lot. I mean, you haven't skipped any steps. You really have worked very hard at each phase of your career so that you are ready to serve in this particular role, which is very, very, very exciting. So many exciting things happening here in Martin County. What was it about Martin County that made it a good fit for you as superintendent? Because I know you've thought about being a superintendent, but how did you know Martin County was the right fit?
So I am from northeastern North Carolina and just very passionate about serving in this region. And again, you know, I make no secret about my faith. I stay in prayer and I go where God calls me to be. And for about a year, Martin County had been on my mind. I'm actually from Bertie County, which is only about 10 minutes away from here. And, you know, I just felt like God was putting it into my heart, into my spirit, and I continued to pray about it. Martin County, and I say over a year because they actually had an interim before they advertised for the position, and so I just continued to pray about it and really felt like this is where God was calling me to be. I feel like this is the perfect fit for me. I feel like through my career, you know, you look back and you reflect, oh, that's why God wanted me to do that. That's why He wanted me to be there. That's why I went there. Or that, okay, I see that experience and how it prepared me for this. So I love school transformation. That is my passion. That is my life's work. And there are some areas in Martin County Schools that we are working to better our best that I feel that my experience is the perfect fit for, from, you know, really creating a strong data infrastructure to transforming the culture from the roots up, when you walk in every school, feeling that awesome school feeling when you could feel that this is a great place to work and learn, to the teachers feeling supported and empowered and believed in and heard, to the parents feeling supported and empowered and having a voice, to creating great programs for children. So I just really feel like my work has prepared me for Martin County, and then felt called to be here. And it has definitely lived up to that in this first year.
Isn't that very exciting? It's wonderful when we can have leaders who are really intentional about the assignments that they take and really feel that they have the skills to move the school system forward, because we're here, we have to produce results for our children.
Absolutely.
We don't have a choice with that. We have to make sure that we're giving our children the very best that we have to get. And you all have a lot to celebrate over this year. Launched the Innovative Early College.
Yes.
Preparing to launch the Innovative Middle School.
Yes.
Really increase and uptick with the internships.
Yes.
Better Together Martin County Schools. So many things to celebrate. Grants that you all are receiving.
Yes.
The Stronger Connections Grant?
Yes.
The Stronger Connections Grant, $267,000. A lot of things have transpired over the course of one-to-one initiative.
Yes.
Talk about some of those things, Dr. White, because you all have really done a lot just in 1 year.
We have, and it all stemmed from listening to our stakeholders, all of our stakeholders, from community to parents to teachers, really listening to what they felt like we were doing well, and then hearing what they felt like we needed to improve on, and then creating those action steps. So one of the things that I heard very readily was that we needed more early college opportunities. Unfortunately, there was not an early college program in Martin County schools, and so you know what? Last summer, I came on board May 8th, and by July 1, we had an early college program.
Wow.
And today, we have 126 students in the early college program, and our first graduating class will be 2026. We've had a tremendous first year, and that's because of great people that were willing to see the vision and just jump in and do the work. One of the highlights of my career was last summer when we launched this early college. A team of people poured into it for months, and we had selected our students, and we got on a bus, and the early college coordinator, the district office staff, the school principals, we all got on a bus for 2 days. It was about 96 degrees and it was still so worth it. And we traveled Martin County, and we hand delivered yard signs that said Martin Innovative Early College to every single student that was accepted in this program. And to see those tears from those families, some of these families, these are first generation college students, and to see their faces and for them to feel the support and the love and the belief that we had in them was one of the highlights of my career and the most powerful moments. And it has proven to be a great year. We've expanded our CTE program. We have this wonderful innovation campus. It has just become the hub of our school system, but it wasn't really being utilized effectively. We had less than 100 students a day on this campus, and so we really dug into the why behind that, and there were a lot of whys. Making sure that we communicate what the opportunities are at the Innovation Campus to our families and to our children, so that they can create those pathways based on the careers that they are looking at and considering. And so we did a lot of work behind the communication of our Innovation Campus, behind expanding our CTE pathways to match what our student interests are. And I'm proud to say that we've increased. Last year previously we had less than 100 students a day. This year we have close to 600 students a day on this campus taking advantage of these pathways, in addition to our early college. So that has been wonderful. From there, we are starting the Innovative Middle School, which I'm so excited about, just listening to our families. And you know, we are in a competitive marketplace when it comes to schools in North Carolina, and I'm committed to showing Martin County, the state of North Carolina, the United States, that public schools are the foundation of what we do, and public schools do and can offer the best. When you invest in public schools, you are giving to your community. And so as we listen to the community and really heard what are parents looking for, because we want them to choose us. We want to be the school of choice for Martin County, and so we have designed a whole new experience at the middle school level focused on STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We've added theater. We're adding a strings program. We've added robotics, had the first ever high school robotics team this year, now filtering it into middle school next year. We've added a career exploration lab where you go in and students are tiling walls, they're flying drones. Went in right before school got out, and they were putting a cast on a leg. They're doing all these things that expose them to these spectacular careers that then when they get to high school, they're going to be able to come to our innovation campus and pursue those pathways. So really excited about that. Our early college opened this year. Our innovative middle school will open next year. Those have been two tremendous opportunities for our children. You did mention we did go one-to-one this year. Again, amazing people jumped in. Martin County Schools was not one-to-one, but I was able to just build this amazing team of people, and now we are one-to-one. We have firmed up our how we're monitoring technology in the classrooms, how we're supporting teachers with that technology use in the classrooms. We don't use it just to use it, but we use it when it can better our best. And that has been a tremendous asset this year to equip teachers with that training, with those devices, because that puts the world at their fingertips with instructional practice. So it's been great.
So many great things, to include expanding your summer learning opportunities as well. I listened to a board meeting when you first arrived, and there was a preview on some of the things, and it's been significant growth with the summer learning. Talk about that, because that's so important to make sure we're closing opportunity gaps and reducing the summer slide. So talk about that, Dr. White.
Absolutely. So one of the things that parents shared with me when I first arrived in Martin County was that we didn't have summer school in Martin County. And some people think of summer school as a negative, but summer school's not a negative.
That's
summer
right.
school is a positive. It gives us the opportunity to stay engaged with our children, to create fun, hands-on learning experiences for our children, and it gives our children an opportunity to stay engaged. You know, many parents are working parents outside the home, and they rely on us to support them with their children. And so I'm proud to say that we've offered summer school for the first time this year, had a very successful summer program.
Great.
You know, initially, anytime you start something new, there will be those, well, the children aren't going to come, or there's going to be this obstacle or this obstacle, but progress is impossible without change. And we had a tremendous turnout for our summer school. More than ever anticipated, and we were really able to close a lot of gaps. We're also offering camp opportunities throughout the summer. This week we hosted an AIG camp. Our students were here doing some coding. They made kites, actually went to the beach and were able to fly those. Next week we're hosting a STEAM camp at our innovative middle school. They're going to be traveling to ECU and going to their STEM center there. Lots of fun things planned. We are having another camp focused on athletics this summer for our middle school children. We've got various CTE camps, and so it's all about engagement. Our theme has become every child, every opportunity. We want every child to have the opportunity that fits their goals, their desires, their interest, because when you have opportunities that fit students' interests, you have engaged students, and that's how we're able to reach those great heights with academic success. And so really excited about those summer opportunities and looking forward to having something for everybody this summer.
And Dr. White, how were you all able to navigate that? Because some of the concerns that people have with offering is funding. You know, funding is limited. So how were you all able to really ramp up the summer learning in this climate that we're currently in?
So it was very strategically. This wasn't just a last minute thing. It was, again, when I arrived, really listening to the stakeholders and then planning for an entire year to be able to fund certain initiatives. Of course, we know we're in the ends of ESSER funding, and so that was a support for some of the camps, but many of them were saving money throughout the year, pockets of things that we could put together and offer this camp. You know, it was really at the table of every discussion. Okay, so these are the things we want to be able to do next summer. And then as we're strategically planning with principals meetings, senior team meetings, district office staff, teachers throughout the year, that was always the goal, was to be able to offer these opportunities. So funding comes from various pots. In addition to grant writing, we've really tried to up our game with writing grants and seeking opportunities for our children. So we were able to get some grant funds as well. And we're going to continue to better our best. So we've increased opportunities this summer, and next summer we're looking for even more.
So exciting to watch that happen here in Northeast North Carolina, because we know our students deserve it.
Yes.
They certainly do. They also deserve a quality education.
Yes.
So this year you have been really intentional about making sure educational quality is in place. You've had to make some hard decisions. So you all have merged the high schools.
Yes.
So Riverside and South Creek High Schools have merged, and you did a mid-year merger.
We did.
Talk about how you got to that point, and what are some of the things that will be on the horizon for the students at Martin County High School?
Yes, so that goes all the way back to my first weeks here. When I arrived in Martin County, I was blessed to be able to start in May, which allowed me to go into the schools and see the classrooms in action with children. And one of the things that immediately emerged was the inequality between our two high schools. Particularly, we actually merged athletics before we merged the two schools, because this school had state championship tennis. This school didn't get an opportunity to play. This school had soccer. This school couldn't have soccer because it didn't have enough students. This school had softball and baseball. This school did not get an opportunity. Inequality is not okay. Where you live should not determine the opportunities that you are given, the exposure and the experiences that come your way. And so immediately we merged athletics, because athletics is the reason many of our children come to school every day, and we want them to have those opportunities, that motivator to do well academically. And so that proved to be tremendously successful. All of our children received an equitable, quality athletic experience. And so as we moved into the year, we still had two separate high schools, but we were playing athletics as one. And we had a teacher shortage. We had vacancies at one of our high schools that had been vacant long term, some for a year. As we moved into October and November, and we were really trying to schedule for that next semester, our counselors came to me and said, "Dr. White, we can't schedule the children. They are going to be in substitute classrooms or all online. We do not have classes for the children." And so it became this pivotal moment. You know, I'd only been here about 6 months at that time, but I'm called to do what's right for children. And I could have let them be in those substitute classrooms and online classes, but I had data to show me that that was not effective. And so I went to the community, I went to the board. I believe in being very transparent, and I showed them the data. I showed them the holes in the schedule. I showed them the reason behind the conversation, and then I showed them what it could look like if we were one high school. This was a temporary move when we merged in January, because when you actually did the math and looked at the schedule, at one of our schools we had more substitutes than teachers, but when we came together, every child got a certified teacher. And so we were already working to better our best academically, and so the decision was made to merge the schools mid-year. Was not easy. I'm not saying everyone was on board with that, but I will say a majority were, because the why was presented, and they understood that this is what my child will get here, this is what my child will get here, I want the best for my child. As we went through the semester, we were not able to fill those vacancies at the school, but also the children began to see a difference. The children saw a difference in the quality of the overall educational experience once we were merged. The children began to say, you know, I really like it here. I'm learning more. My grades are better. I'm in more clubs. We didn't have these opportunities at my other school. And so the children began to say, we want to stay. And so as we continued to move forward and look at the budget, as we got into budget season, we realized that two high schools was not sustainable for Martin County. And this has been something that had been talked about for many years in Martin County. But again, I believe in being very transparent. So we went back to the community, and we were very transparent about, this is what your children are getting. Example, at at the smaller school, there was one full-time elective at a high school.
I know.
And then when we merged, we have 32 elective opportunities. And so we went to the community, we explained the why, and the decision was made to close the school. And by this point, because the children had been able to experience athletics together, they experienced the temporary merge, they saw and felt the difference in their educational experience. We held 2 community meetings, and we did not have anybody speak at either meeting against the closing of the school. Not because they wanted the school to close. You know, closing a school is never easy.
Right.
It's a heritage. It's a part of a community. But the benefits to the children were so undeniable that we have been able to move forward with that. We're currently in the midst of adopting a new mascot.
Yes, involving the community.
Involving the community. The entire community got to vote for the mascot. The children selected the finalists, but the community got to vote. Can't tell you quite yet what we're going to be. Still top secret. Now we're working through the color adoption for our new school. We've decided that the new school will be named Martin County High School. And now begins the work of, I would love to build a new school. I want a new high school where all of our children can go and experience a state-of-the-art facility in the absolute best, because that's what we want for our kids. So we're also moving forward and working with the county commissioners, and I'm going to be seeking some grant funding for that to just give our children the absolute best. So we did close a high school, and we've merged into one high school, and we were looking forward to making that the absolute best for the children of Martin County.
Absolutely. I know you're going to do that as you're with your team, and I'm really excited about the new Martin County High School. We'll be watching and celebrating and rooting you all on, cheering you all on. Here in the Northeast region, we have 11 superintendents. 5 are female. 5 are female. How does that impact your work as a superintendent when you're in a region that has that level of diversity, equity, of representation? How does that impact your work?
Well, I can say that I feel very blessed to be. My passion is Northeastern North Carolina, and there are some tremendous female superintendents in Northeastern North Carolina that have just invested in me and have served as a mentor. You know, again, I hate to start naming names, but Dr. Turner in Perquimans County, you know, she is somebody that I worked with in Chowan County and is now currently leading that district, and I know that I can pick up the phone and call her, and she is a tremendous leader. And there are several throughout our region. So very thankful for that. I am the first female superintendent for Martin County, and so that is a blessing to be able to walk that path and to have this opportunity that maybe some have not had before. And I'm committed to doing the work and being the absolute best that I can be. So it is wonderful to have that tribe, because there are leadership differences, and we need to acknowledge that. You know, the way a man leads may be different than the way a woman leads, and it's okay. It doesn't mean that there are right or wrong. It just means that we're all different, and so embracing those differences and learning those leadership styles and having a team that you can go to and get that advice and say, well, this is the way I would approach this, or this is what I suggest to this, is just truly powerful.
Really, really powerful, really exciting, and you're leading well. You are really leading well, and you've had a great year. What advice do you have for a first-year superintendent? Because you've had a very successful year. You have a lot of results. You're really diligent about moving Martin County forward. What advice would you have for a first-year superintendent watching?
Being successful is all about listening, truly hearing, and investing in your people. Success is built through meaningful, purposeful relationships. Whether it's relationships with your students, relationships with your teachers, relationships with your district office staff, really investing in your people, building your people up, encouraging them, being that mentor for them, being that support for them. The reason we have been able to be successful this year is because of the people, because of every single teacher in every single classroom putting in the work, because of every single administrator coming in early and staying late, because of every district office team member who was willing to, sometimes 24 hours a day it seemed, put in the work to make our school system better. So the advice I would give is invest in your people. Understand the power of those relationships. We often say that, but meaningful, purposeful relationships. Not always telling people what they want to hear, but telling people what they need to hear, and then supporting them and letting them know that you believe in them, that you are here for them, that you will walk through fire to help them get where they want to be. Knowing their career goals, whether it's your teachers, your administrators, whoever, knowing their career goals and then investing in them to help them get where they need to be. So definitely, first-year superintendents, invest in your people, the power of relationships, and having those meaningful, purposeful conversations.
Absolutely, and you walk that out each and every day. Dr. White, after a successful first year, what is your 5-year dream for Martin County Schools?
I want Martin County Schools to be the school of choice for Martin County. I want it to be the most sought after school in the state of North Carolina. I want the overall educational experience in Martin County Schools to simply be the best. I've told people all year, if we don't have it, we will build it. And if it's broken, we will fix it. And those aren't words, I mean it with every fiber of who I am. So I want us to foster a culture of excellence, to foster academic excellence, to foster a feeling of belonging and inclusion and equality. In 5 years, I want Martin County Schools to be one of the best performing school systems in the state of North Carolina, and I truly believe that we can, and we will be, if we continue to invest in our people, to support them, and to build those relationships.
And we certainly will be watching.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your leadership, and thank you so much for this conversation. I have learned so much, have enjoyed it so much, and really cheering you all on in the background.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank our audience so very much for watching. We'll see you soon.